Hello and welcome to the walkthrough for my portfolio level, The Sanctuary of Seasons. We start here with this opening shot that frames the first long-term goal, the Ice Temple, for the player, pointing them towards that, letting them know where they're going. And then as we turn around, introducing the climbing mechanic, first very simply, then introducing these stamina herbs that can be used to restore stamina, letting the player play around with the climbing mechanic a little bit before introducing gliding. First in this safe space where it's sort of impossible to fail. We round this corner, get the reveal of the second long-term goal, the Evertree, framed by that cave, these birds and their motion guiding the player's attention down to a bow that they pick up and to the grand sweep of the world ahead of them. They use the bow to activate these platforms and then glide over to the main island. This NPC introduces the riding mechanic, which the player hopefully chooses to use. They have a couple goals highlighted here. We're going to head towards this castle where they meet this troll. The NPC also introduced us to the fact that they have this crystal on their back as a weak point. This is something I wanted to include to get combat that could feel at least somewhat rewarding and simple in the time that I had to design it without a lot of polish. As we turn around, this village is framed and we glide towards it. Once again, guiding the player with another frame, this gate here. As we continue on the path towards the statue, seeing the two long-term goals again, and then meeting this NPC who introduces the main quest of the level, collecting a blessing from the Evertree and the Ice Temple, and we head out to start that quest. As we cross this bridge, I present the player with this fork, let them choose which of the two goals they want to head towards first. In this case, we're going to head right on the side that's got sort of the verdant plant life towards the Evertree, and not the snowy one on the left, heading towards, of course, the Ice Temple. We frame this fort with the arrangement of the trees and the path, of course. Let the player do a little bit of combat, keep those bow skills sharp. As they look up towards their goal, they see these islands have been sort of ripped apart, but we invite them in with the climbing up the fort and this bridge hinting there's a path here. As we round the corner here, we show off a heart pickup, letting players know there's a secret to discover over there. And climbing up here in this frame, we show off the Ice Temple one more time as they continue through this cave. Of course, the player, if they had wanted to, could actually drop down by the waterfall there to get that secret pickup. As we make this climb here, we once again frame the Evertree here, while giving the player options on the right and the left for places that they could traverse towards next. We're heading to the left through the forest, contracting the space around the player and then opening it up to sort of emphasize the big size of the tree ahead of them as they arrive here at this angel statue representing the spirit of the Evertree. There's then this puzzle which sort of thematically plays on this opposition of growth and stillness, trying to get all the trees to get to their full size. And then highlight this pine tree, which the player can use their newly gained plant arrows to grow, climb on top of, and then take this dramatic glide back towards the village, seeing the whole map and their next goal at the Ice Temple ahead of them. With this newly gained power in hand, we hope that the player is thinking, well, what opportunities are open to me now? What's changed about this map now that I can explore new things? And as they continue gliding, seeing these pine trees in the direction of their next goal, they can now get to this previously inaccessible floating island by using the plant arrows on that pine tree right there. And as well also be rewarded with this secret heart pickup that's also only accessible by growing that pine tree. As we climb up here, we see the Ice Temple ahead of us framed with these various leading lines made by ice. As we get on the horse, we point the player back towards the Evertree so they can position themselves if they need to. then show off this massive scale, building excitement, and then contract from those big, open, massive things down into this smaller space as the player finds the blessing of stillness. Where the first blessing had this sort of calmer, serene, natural environment with a thoughtful puzzle to go with it, I wanted this more austere, cold space to have a higher tension combat to go along with it as its challenge. With ice arrows in hand, the player can freeze and climb this waterfall, followed by this very designed climb here as they experience the verticality of this icy cliffs on the backside of the ice temple. Continuing up, getting to use the power once more, remind the player of what they've gained. At the peak here, they see a reminder of the Evertree, the other goal. If they'd chosen in this open experience to go get the Blessing of Stillness first, this would serve as a reminder, as we also frame the tree here, of their other second goal. But as we follow this path down towards, we increasingly frame the village more and more and send the player in that direction. And in this case, we have now gained both blessings. We can hand them in here at the shrine and fully complete the level as the statue brings the two green and blue hands together and opens up the portal to the Sanctuary of Seasons. Thank you for watching.